Hello, everybody. Welcome back to AVTJC, Absolute Victory Through Jesus Christ. My name is Scott Chopic. Just wanted to share something with you. Yesterday, I was playing baseball with my son, so I would pitch and he would bat, and then he would pitch and I would bat, and we'd go back and forth. And he was pitching to me, and I was batting right-handed, and I couldn't hit the ball for nothing. And this is something that went back to my childhood because uh, part of my feelings of rejection were I tried out for Little League like 4 years in a row, and every year back then, if you weren't good enough, you weren't accepted. So I wasn't accepted, and finally the fourth year, my last year for eligibility, my neighbor and what I consider my second father, um, he took me under his wing on his team. He was a coach in one of the teams, and uh, so I still didn't do very well. I just did not have the talent. I didn't have the experience or the talent. And I couldn't hit the ball. I couldn't field. I couldn't do anything. And so yesterday, that kind of all came flooding back as he's pitching to me and I'm swinging and I can't hit the ball. And I'm batting right-handed, and all of a sudden I noticed that when he would pitch the ball, there would be a point where it just seemed like the ball disappeared. Now, I'm healed by the stripes of Jesus, but ever since I was a kid, I was considered legally blind in my right eye. And so then I turned and I tried batting left-handed, and as soon as he pitched it to me, I connected, and I was it was nonstop one. Every time he'd pitch it to me, and I would bat left-handed, I would connect with the ball. Well, then I was kind of curious about that, so I did some research online. And usually, a right-handed batter is right eye dominant, and a left-handed batter is left eye dominant. So, not that you can't be a right-handed batter and be left eye dominant, or vice versa. But in a situation where you are a right-handed batter and left eye dominant, sometimes you have to adjust your stance. So I realized there was something to this, something that I didn't know way back then, and now 54 years later, playing with my son, it becomes a reality. So, what is that all about? Well, you see, it's all about perspective, because as a right handed batter, uh, I have no confidence um, because I just cannot hit the ball. And it just, like I said, when things started flooding back as this was taking place, uh, I wasn't very socially accepted because of I just wasn't very athletic and stuff like that. So, I was rarely picked first for a team. If I was picked at all, I was picked last. And so I considered myself a real loser, from a personal standpoint. But then, ironically, that's how I felt when I was batting right handed. But then when I turned and tried left handed batting and I connected with the ball every time, all of a sudden I felt this confidence. I started feeling better about myself. And so, right handed batter, I felt like a loser. And as I was batting left handed, I felt like, wow, if I would have known this way back then, if somebody would have been able to point that out to me, maybe I would have been able to fit in. Maybe I would have been had more confidence in myself. And all of those things, those things being socially acceptable, and all that stuff, that all plays into your how you perceive yourself. So I battled with mental illness for a good 30 years or so, maybe even a little bit more. And you know, as a right-handed, like I said, as a right-handed batter, I was a loser, and as a left-handed batter, yesterday I felt more confident. And it's all about perspective. When I was batting right-handed, I had very little perception of the ball, but then when I turned left-handed and batted that way, then all of a sudden I perceived it differently. And at the age of 30, after going through all that I went through dealing with various levels of mental illness, the Word of God gave me a different perspective about who I am. And that's the power of the Word. It enabled me to look at myself in a different way. It in my place in the world as well, you know. So it kind of switched me from that right-handed batter to that left-handed batter, and that was kind of profound to me yesterday. So I thought I would share that with you. A lot of times mental illness is all about perception and what do we think of ourselves. You know, and that's what the Word of God does. It tells you who you are in Him. And it gives you the power to break free of all the stigma or you know, everything that people have sown negatively into your life over the years. The Word of God reinforces what He thinks of you. And since He's the creator of all things, nothing else matters. So I just thought I would share that with you, and I hope that touches somebody's heart, and I hope it sets you free. So thank you for joining in, tuning in. So God bless you and have a great day, and we'll see you soon.